welcome to Bending Perspective, different takes on Avatar the Last Airbender. Welcome to episode 3. This episode we're going to be covering the Winter Solstice Part 1 and 2 in the Waterbending Scroll. I'm the main host, Emily, and introduce yourself.
I'm Abigail, the sleepy girl.
Okay.
Alright, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Adrian.
If we're a little, I don't know if our energy is different, it's because we just finished injecting ourselves with Taco Bell. So that might bring a different energy to the show. Okay, so...
Taco Bell high, one may say.
Okay. So we're going to start with Winter Solstice Part 1, the Spirit World. Who would like to summarize
I think
it?
Mom.
Okay, I'll summarize, but that thing was creepy.
Okay, we'll summarize it.
Okay, so, the Summer Solstice, Part 1. They're flying, over with, Appa, the trio. And
Oh, good. That stuck? Great.
and they see a big scar in the land. Katara notices it first. She's like, what is that? And they go down and they look, and there's, a forest that has been burned and destroyed, and it's, a lot of ash everywhere. And Aang is very upset by this because he talks about how it's his, responsibility as the Avatar to protect nature and things like that. And he feels like he's, failed and let things down. And then Katara, with her, role of being the one with optimism and hope, she finds some acorns and she comes to Aang and says, look, the forest may be destroyed right now, but there are acorns everywhere, which means these trees will grow back, and he feels better. And then they wind up in an Earth Kingdom village. And this Earth Kingdom village, when they find out he's the Avatar, they're super excited because they're being invaded each night by a spirit. And that spirit is abducting people in the village, and this is not good. So this is the kind of thing that the Avatar is supposed to help with, because Avatar, Aang calls himself the bridge to the spirit world, I believe is the phrasing he used.
Why do I sense judgment?
No, I'm just not sure if I'm saying it right.
You are.
Okay. So Aang goes out to confront the spirit at sunset, and it's this big, giant, creepy-looking thing. It's black and white, and they call it Heibai, and it's just creepy.
I think you're being a little too hard on him. I like him.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later. Aang goes out, and he doesn't know what he's doing. He's kind of walking around and talking and just like, And Sokka feels like Aang needs help. So Sokka jumps out and runs out to help him and protect him from this creepy looking thing. And by the way, the creepy Heibai thing, it's destroying, houses and stuff. It's really wreaking havoc. So once it sees Sokka, it grabs him and runs away with him. And Aang tries to chase him, and then it turns out that Aang is in the spirit world, and he gets visited.
So he's a ghost boy.
Yeah, he gets visited by a dragon. And he realizes that this dragon is the animal guide of his past life, Avatar Roku. And he feels like the dragon might help him, so he goes with it. And the dragon shows him that if he goes somewhere where there's a statue of Roku, on the solstice specifically, he'll be able to talk to Roku. And that apparently was something he was told by his teachers that he needed to do. Like he needed to go talk to his past lives somehow. So that helps. But anyway, he figures this out. The dragon helps him. And then he realizes that Heibai is actually the spirit of the forest, and that it's angry because of what was done to the forest. And he talks to it and calms it down and shows it the acorn and tells it what Katara told him. And it turns back from the creepy thing into a panda bear and walks away. And Sokka and the other abducted people come back. And that's it.
But, okay, Mike Zuko, you mentioned nothing about Zuko and Iroh.
Well, I was really worried that I was going to forget something, so I was really focusing on the spirit world.
Well, you
thing.
did forget something.
You forget
So
a whole
beat me.
plot line.
Forgot
Back it
the
up.
entire point. The sovereign state of Mike Zuko hereby banishes
You have failed.
I'm not leaving Mike
No honor.
Zuko. I can't
No
leave Mike Zuko.
Alright, well, bring honor to Mike Zuko.
Oh, no. Do
So
you not
the
remember?
Zuko and Iroh part of the story is revolving around Iroh and his sitting in a hot spring, just sort of relaxing, having a good time. And Zuko is very impatient to leave and chase after the Avatar. And eventually, Uncle Iroh falls asleep in the hot spring and gets captured by Earth Kingdom soldiers. and we see him being dragged along, and we see him, I think it is in this episode, there's a scene where he, like, fakes falling asleep and leaves behind a sandal and, like, clues to have Zuko follow him. And so I don't think we get his rescue until next episode.
No, it's this episode.
Is it?
Is it?
Yes.
So that's why I was confused. I couldn't remember which episode it happened in, because they were kind of a two-part episodes.
They were definitely a two-part, not kind of. Continue.
So, yes, they, Uncle Iroh eventually gets rescued by Zuko, who follows on their trail. And we see this awesome scene of, I think it's the first time we ever see Uncle Iroh fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Uncle Iroh's pretty tough.
Yeah.
He's kind of unclothed and naked for most of the episode.
Right.
Wait, are we chit-chatting now?
Yeah, we're chit-chatting.
Alright, so wasn't there a part where, I think it was maybe that general that said that he was the greatest,
the Dragon of the West.
the Dragon of the West, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But he didn't conquer a city. They talked about the city of
Ba
Sing
Se.
Yeah, Ba Sing Se, and Iroh even mentions, that is, I know my failure at Ba Sing Se, but he talks about being tired, and then he says my soldiers were tired and I was tired, and he keeps bringing this up because we have the thing that Daniel talked about where Iroh talked about the need for rest, and they kind of have the same thing going on with the hot tub. He was telling Zuko he needed to come get in the hot tub and relax. This whole thing where Iroh focuses on rest.
Okay,
and
I'm sorry,
relaxation.
Abigail, will you please stop popping your knuckles?
I need one more.
Okay, do it. You can't do it.
I can't do it.
Alright, continue,
This
Mom.
is the high
Under
audio
pressure.
quality you come to
This
expect
is
from the
it.
game perspective.
This is it right here. It's number one.
It's that
I
Taco
think
Bell.
it's the Taco Bell. Yeah, we don't need to record after eating Taco Bell again.
Okay, so I don't even know where you were.
I was just talking about how Iroh seems very focused on rest.
Yes.
One important thing that needs to be brought up by Mike Zuko is Uncle Iroh seeing the dragon, the spirit dragon, and
Okay.
flying over.
Yeah, I said something about it, even though I'm not supposed to talk during the episode.
A rule you
Iroh's-
consistently break.
But yes, Iroh saw the spirit dragon, Roku's spirit animal. Is that because he's a firebender too? And Roku was a Fire Nation
I don't know,
avatar?
Megamind, analyze it.
I don't
Do you
know.
think Zuko saw it?
Well, Zuko wasn't there at that moment. That's when he was being held by the Earthbenders.
He was following the Earthbenders.
It's true.
I
don't
think
know.
it's easy. I think we should assume that only Uncle Iroh saw it.
Because the Earthbenders did not react to it.
No.
Oh, no.
That is very interesting to me. Because I thought I mean, we've had very limited exposure to the spirit world so far, but it seems to be an Avatar thing.
It's a very much
And obviously, Iroh is not an Avatar because there's only one Uno Avatar at the time.
Yes.
So, I don't understand why he saw that dragon. I'm
Is he
very confused. Hello, Maddie.
Is he connected to Roku?
Iroh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess a future episode might give
It's
us more
Answer this
that.
question.
Oh, another really nice Mike Zuko moment to bring up is when Zuko was on the trail of the Earthbenders and he could see the tracks of their little ostrich things. He saw Appa fly overhead. And he had to make a choice at that moment to go after Appa and chase down the Avatar, which is what he's all about.
Could we do like 10 minutes of Maddie barking?
No.
And
Wow.
just
Go
insert
let
that
her
in the
out.
middle of the podcast. I
We
think that
should.
would be. I think that would just amp up the quality
Just,
of the
can we
premium.
let her out?
Yeah, I guess we have to. Okay, and one other really good Zuko moment was when he was tracking Uncle Iroh. There's a moment where he sees Appa fly overhead, and you see that Zuko's trying to make this choice. Do I go after the Avatar, get my honor and all that stuff, or do I keep following these tracks and get Uncle Iroh back? And we don't see him make the decision. We don't find out till later in the episode that he went after Uncle Iroh, which I thought was a pretty nice little moment for Zuko.
Yeah. And somewhat unexpected as well, with the track record he's going with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this episode was very much a better glimpse into Uncle Iroh. I think this is the first time we've heard it sort of mentioned before, but this is the first time we really hammer home the fact that he's a legendary general.
Yeah.
The fact that his enemies respect/fear him so much.
Mm-hmm.
And we also see that not only he's a great general, he's also a fantastic fighter. And he displays that when he gets rescued by Zuko.
He's also very, very clever. Some of the things that he does are more about having his wits about him and being smart, rather than just, a lot of the firebenders we've seen have been all this, hurl fireball after fireball, offensive-minded, fight. And here's Uncle Iroh being strategic and smart. Kind of a different side of it.
Yeah. Okay, Mike Aang, Fistbone. Boom. We need to talk about how we learned a bunch about what the Avatar's kind of role is. We learned that they're supposed to protect nature, they're into the spirit world, they're supposed to be the bridge between the natural and spirit world, and all that stuff. Do you have anything to add, everybody?
He was a cute little ghost boy.
Aang was, or the spirit?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you for that helpful insight.
I don't know, but it is super interesting to see the relationship between... Well, first of all, it's weird because Aang is very much alive. But, okay, wait, I got a question, actually.
Yeah.
Is the panda bear a spirit too, or was it very much alive as well?
The panda bear is a pure spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Just a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That was like its angry... It was like a Moana situation, angry
Oh,
for
I
it.
felt the Moana aroma. Wait.
No.
Energy. Oh, man, I'm gonna get it, man. Okay, anyway. Want to cut that? No?
No.
Okay, cool. So Aang, I guess, is the Avatar the only one that is able to do that?
We don't know, but we get the idea that they're very much supposed to do that. Because we know that Avatar Roku's contacting him through the spirit world, right? So...
And it seemed like once Aang entered the spirit world, it was like they instantly knew he was there. Because how else would Avatar Roku know that he's there?
That's a good point, yeah.
So it's like he entered the spirit world, and it's like the beam that shot up when he walked into that air temple place. It's like I assume it was almost the same thing of like even just a sense of like, oh, he's here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I think it was cool to see Aang do such a good job of like kind of pacifying the spirit. He seems like the right person for that job.
Once he finally figured out what's going on, he resolved it very quickly.
Yeah, he had no trouble.
That's another thing that we find out is just how lacking his training really is in being the Avatar.
Yeah,
because he has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah. Maddie, would you like to add something?
Pork.
Okay. Alright, any other comments on episode 1 of this trio?
I was anxious to watch the next episode.
Yeah, we do learn that Roku needs to talk to him on an island in the Fire Nation about a comet.
On the solstice.
On the solstice, which is the next day.
The next day. So they're on a bit of a time crunch.
Yeah. Oh, it's this episode, this made Mom laugh, where the person in the town's like, if there's any, I wish there was something we could do.
Yes.
And Sokka said, we need money and we need food.
And Katara's like, Sokka! And Aang's like, I mean, we do. Yeah. Which is a great relationship between males and females.
Yeah. It's also highlighting again that this show doesn't shy away from that aspect of the journey. Yeah. Alright, episode 2. Are we good to move on?
Sure.
Alright, so episode 2 is
Winter Solstice Part 2.
The Winter Solstice Part 2, anybody want to summarize it? Do you want to do it, everybody? Yes.
So, Winter Solstice Part 2.
It was, okay.
Alright, so Winter Solstice Part 2 shows us the beginning with the Avatar gang flying on Appa being chased by Zuko and his the trio, being chased by Zuko, and they're heading straight towards a Fire Nation blockade. Commanded by none other than our good friend Commander Zhao. Zhao.
Okay.
And so they start flying through this blockade, and Iroh tells Zuko, hey, you're a banished prince, you can't go into Fire Nation waters, we should turn back now. And Zuko disregards it and says, full steam ahead, and they keep on chasing him. And the Fire Nation Navy just starts shooting a bunch of flaming rocks at the Avatar. They manage to dodge most of them with Appa. Most of them.
Yeah.
And eventually they get past the blockade, and Zhao allows Zuko to follow them.
Yeah.
So we get this sort of cat and mouse situation where Zuko and Iroh realize that Zhao let them pass, and so Zuko pulls out this maneuver to take the smaller boat out of the ship and follow them himself while the main ship carries on, trying to mislead Zhao. Mm-hmm. So the Avatar gang, the trio, land on, I think, is it Sunset Isle or something like that?
I don't know.
But they land on the island to meet the Fire Sages, which are the keepers of this Avatar temple. And at first they're like, oh, okay, so you're gonna help me do this thing. And then the Fire Sages attack them. Turns out they're working for the Fire Nation. And they flee inside the temple and eventually meet up with a Fire Sage that's loyal to the Avatar.
Yeah.
And he helps
Shayu?
Yeah, Shayu. Shayun or something like that. They he leads them to the main door to get towards the statue of Avatar Roku, and it's revealed that only 5 firebenders, the number of fire sages there are allowed to open the door. It's sort of like the airbending doors in the air temples, but with firebending. And they have no idea how to get it open. They don't have enough firebenders, so Sokka comes up with this plan to use essentially just like lamp oil and like little bags to simulate firebending.
Yeah. And
it doesn't work. But then Katara says, Sokka, you're a genius, because you might not have opened the door, but it looks like you did. And so they trick the fire sages into thinking they're already inside, forcing them to open the door. And at that point, Aang runs in, or tries to, but it turns out Zuko.
Yep. Hey, try again, buddy. You got it.
Edit that part out.
No, there's a loophole.
So Zuko has actually captured Aang, but he manages to quickly escape and dash for the temple. And we get this scene where it's just Aang just sort of sitting there around waiting, and finally the sunbeam hits Roku's face, and we get to see the first time we hear Avatar Roku talk, I think.
Yeah.
And he tells them about Sozin's comet, which will arrive in 6 months, and the Fire Lord Ozai will use it to finish the war. So Avatar Aang has to master all 4 elements before the comet arrives, and that's sort of the main push for the story. This is the first time we get that main overarching plot.
Yeah, we also learned that he used the same comet 100 years before to start the war.
Yeah, Fire Lord Sozin.
Yeah, the comet gives the Fire Nation, or the Firebenders in general, a lot of extra power.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Bless you, Maddie.
God bless you, Maddie. Anyway, and so it gives them a lot of power, and there's actually a quote that he's like, even the Avatar can't stop this from happening if the comet comes.
Yes. So, and also Roku is forward and saying you have to defeat the Fire Lord, right? Mm-hmm. So then Avatar Roku destroys the temple.
Yeah. His spirit
does. Through Aang. And Zuko is there too, but
Zuko is there too, yes.
He gets captured, but then he escapes and whatever. They escape on Appa. And then the last scene, which I think was pretty telling, was you see the trio on Appa with the the moon, like highlighting their shadows, and you see Aang kind of sitting dejectedly, and Sokka and Katara accompanying them. And it kind of hits you like, oh, that's a bunch of weight to put on a 12-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
Now, is this, I'm pretty sure, it's where we see Aang and Avatar Roku talking.
Yeah.
But they're like face-to-face talking. And I don't know if you noticed this, but it's really weird. They were not right directly in front of each other. They were off-centered.
Okay.
So there was like this weird like circle moment happening of where like...
Oh, they did show like half of Aang's face and then half of
Roku's face, and then it showed them talking, and it went overhead, and like Roku was standing to the left while Aang was standing to his left, so they ended up being off-centered, which is weird when you talk face-to-face somebody.
Yeah.
Usually not off-centered.
I don't know.
So it brought like flashbacks back of future episodes that it might correlate to. I don't know. It did bring flashbacks back to me though, but I can't.
Oh, you recognize that?
I recognize it. Yeah. So I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, this is the first time we hear from Avatar Roku, and I always liked Roku's character. He doesn't show up very often, but when he does, it's always very impactful.
Yeah.
And he sort of is the gateway character for the entire Avatar cycle.
Yeah.
The mystical power of the Avatar.
And we get the idea that this is commonplace. The current Avatar talks to the Avatar before them and helps them guide. So, yeah.
We also see the Avatar may come from a particular nation or group, but they are not bound to that nation or group, because Roku stood against the Fire Nation in this episode.
Yeah.
And we only had, of all the priests there, or sages there, we only had one loyal one that was loyal to the Avatar. The others were, corrupted. And so Zhao was very upset at the end of the episode, because he's like, I had the Avatar and I had the prince. And we did mention in the summary that Zhao purposefully fired at Appa, knowing that he was likely to hit Zuko's ship.
Yeah.
Absolutely no In fact, he was hoping to capture Zuko at first. It was like, well, I'll get both the Avatar and the exiled prince who's come back into the Fire Nation illegally. Yeah. So Zhao has absolutely no love for Zuko. I think that probably never did, but it's probably heightened since the duel that they had and the way that ended.
And then at the end, he mentions, like, I have 5 traitors. Thank you. I have 5 traitors here. And they're like, but we didn't trade you only 1. He was like, no, you lost them, you let us lose them. You're considered traitors.
Yeah, and you can explain your side of the story to the Fire
Lord.
Yeah. So we also, this episode solidifies the fact that, so the sage, Shayu, whatever his name is, I feel like that's a cartoon character's name. A little kid, Shayu.
Yes, from Avatar the Last Airbender.
No,
you're thinking Caillou.
Oh, whatever.
That, you disgust me.
Okay,
continue.
So he says that, my grandfather knew Roku. So we know that it is a fact that it's like a 2 generations removed situation now. Yeah, any more comments on... Oh, we get another glimpse of how smart Sokka is.
Yes.
Which is cool to see.
Yes. He's inventive. He thinks... Yeah, it's like...
He's very inventive.
But Aang got that whole lesson from Bumi at thinking outside the box, but Sokka's already there.
Yeah.
Sokka already thinks of things in a different way. And you said that they fooled him, but they also sent Momo in. Momo was also part of the ruse.
All right. Yep. Momo is very important.
Oh, I love Momo. I feel like I relate to multiple characters in this, one of them being Momo.
Can we mention in the previous episode, the first part of Winter Solstice, is Katara's doing this whole scene with Aang. It's like gives him this single acorn and says the force will go back because of these acorns, and you see Momo in the background just eating as many as he can.
This isn't just these specific episodes, but all the episodes so far. I really do appreciate how Appa and Momo are not just background characters. Like they take time making them very cute and expressive, and they're just a lot of care is into them.
And there's a lot of problems that could be solved by Appa, but usually they have to leave them behind, so that they don't get discovered.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, you see that a lot in the Omashu.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, he wasn't there. Because they had to leave him behind a city, and they needed him. If Appa was there, the entire episode wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Also, can I talk about how Appa has the same hair as Daniel?
Okay. A little fun fact, when they were doing storyboard for Avatar, like creating the show, they had a Where's Momo rule. So after they storyboard every scene, it was a rule that someone had to ask the question, where's Momo? And that question had to be answered.
Cool.
Which I think is another example of them doing a really great job.
It makes it more childlike too. So that heightens the experience for children.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna look for those animal companions. And because kids like animals.
Alright, any more comments on Winter Solstice Part 2?
I love this one. I love the relationship between every single character. We see every single, except for, I guess, the uncle. Like, we see Zuko and the general and everybody, Commander, all interact.
We see Iroh.
We see him right.
trying to get Zuko to turn back so he doesn't get arrested.
Right, but I was saying we don't see him with Aang and all of that.
Right, yeah.
But there's great relationship. Relationship has a good whatever. But we see a lot of relationship building between every single character.
Yeah. Alright, so the waterbending scroll, I'll just summarize this. So Aang is freaking. The episode opens up with Aang freaking out that he needs to learn all 3 elements. He already knows airbending in 6 months, which seems like an impossible task. And Katara's like, hey, I'll just show you what I know about waterbending. So they find a cool little spot that has a bunch of water to practice, and they're practicing, and Aang is picking it up a lot faster than Katara, and Katara is getting kind of visibly upset that it took Aang, literally minutes when it's taken her months to learn some stuff. While they're messing around in the water, Sokka, of course, gets splashed, and then all their equipment and supplies washes down the river, so they have to go into town. And when they go into town, they see this cool shop that has a pirate feel. They go in, they're looking at stuff. It's implied that the pirates stole a waterbending scroll, and it's real waterbending moves, and Katara's never had a resource like that in her life. She ends up stealing it. In the town, Aang bought a stupid Appa whistle, like a flying bison whistle.
Don't call it stupid, it was really cool.
I know, it's just crazy, how would that... It's funny that would even be sold, Anyway, so they they are leaving the pirate ship, and the pirates come after them, and they attack them. So they have to fight off the pirates, and on the flip side of this episode, we see Zuko's Fire Nation ship stopping in the same market because Uncle Iroh lost a Lotus tile to his
Pie show game.
So they end up in the same pirate ship that the trio was in. The trio has since escaped the attack and retreated back to the water hole to practice. And of course they find out that Zuko overhears them talking about the trio, and they go and find them. And then there's this big attack scene with, Zuko trying to get Aang, and the pirates trying to get the scroll. And at one point, the pirates have the Avatar, and Zuko has the scroll, and they're about to trade, and Sokka convinces them, hey, don't trade for a stupid scroll, keep the Avatar, which makes the whole thing chaotic. Everyone's fighting everyone at this point, and the Avatar gang eventually escaped using waterbending with both Aang and Katara. This is the first time we see them waterbend together. Mm-hmm. Very cool. They steal the pirate ship and are going down the river and, using waterbending to attack. We see Sokka be a very capable warrior on the ship, which is good to see. They end up going over a waterfall, and Appa saves them because the flying bison whistle works. So then they're on the bison, and it turns out that Sokka actually did. Katara kind of apologized for causing all this trouble for a waterbending scroll and being kind of possessive of it and being, not as happy that Aang is good at waterbending than she should be. And Sokka reveals that he actually did steal the scroll. So, and by the end, I don't think. Is Zuko and Iroh's ship destroyed?
Yes, because when the Trio steals the pirate ship, the pirates steal Zuko's ship, and it goes over a waterfall. So now they're stranded.
To clarify, it's the tiny boat that resides within their main ship.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. It's not their actual ship. It's their actual ship. This is the decoy that they use. Yes.
And Iroh's like, you're gonna think it's hilarious, but I had the Lotus towel all along. I just lost it, and of course Zuko loses his temper and throws it across the water. Yeah. Okay, so third episode, the waterbending scroll.
Who would think of Uncle Iroh being as wise as he is, going through so much trouble for a Lotus tile? Something that's completely unimportant.
Yeah,
wrong. There's no way. There's no way that Uncle Iroh didn't set that up.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that he didn't, that he knew where that Lotus tile was all along.
Okay.
That this was, I'm not sure if it's because he believed that they might find what they were looking for there, or that he, once again, was on a mission to get his nephew to go to a town, to do something calm, to get more, to get a break from everything, that he was trying to change the scenery. Something. I think
that's it.
I don't believe that that man that's smart enough to leave a sandal behind and as wily as he is, he did not do that by accident. Yeah, what do y'all think? I mean, it struck me as very out of character for him to be the absent-minded, I just forgot about this. I think there's an ulterior motive there. I just don't believe that it was...
Yeah, I'm just going to let Abigail answer that because me and Daniel can't answer that.
I think it was... Now, I know it comes into play. First of all, by the way, you two are acting, and I remember it coming into play. Miss Slick over there. I think answering your question, maybe it was to get a change of scenery. I don't think he could have guessed that the Avatar would land there. I think that's far-fetched. I don't know about that. But, I don't know, maybe this all ties to his being able to see the spirits, too. I don't know.
Well, no, this is a very intelligent man and very strategic.
But I will say that he is definitely retired, right?
Right.
You get that from the Earth Kingdom soldiers. They say the once great General Iroh.
Yeah.
So he's obviously an older gentleman. Nana loses her glasses on top of her head all the time.
No,
this is possible.
This
is possible.
It's not the same thing at all.
Alright, let's move on, because we're just going to get stuck in this.
Sorry, Nana.
Yeah, sorry, Nana. Okay, so let's talk about, we see Aang waterbending for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's a freaking natural, which I love and also expected.
Yeah. Because y'all even mentioned, I don't know why he was at waterbending. You know?
Yeah.
Well, to me, I mean, I don't understand why. So they know they have had past lives, but they don't have the memories of those past lives. Okay, so he doesn't remember how to waterbend.
No.
So, so here's a good example. When he kind of came out of Roku from the state and he was like woozy and he dropped to his knees, I don't even think he remembers what he just did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he didn't remember that he firebended as Roku.
Yeah,
No.
the only time he has all the memories and powers of his past lives is when all those things glow.
In the Avatar state.
Okay,
Avatar state.
okay. So
But then when he comes back to Aang, he doesn't remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Winter Solstice Part 2, I know I'm going back to that episode, but can we just say how cool it is when Roku destroyed the temple when he came out?
Yeah. Also, the calendar. Love that.
Yes. Very cool.
And then it wasn't just Aang in the Avatar state, it was Avatar Roku himself coming to deliver punishment on the Fire Sages.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just love Avatar Roku and the impacts he has on the story.
It was some good symbolism too. It's like you betrayed your oath. You were supposed to, protect the temple of the Avatar. You're not supposed to, be a sellout to the Fire Lord.
So I think a sellout is strong. I think because he said when the war started, they were forced to follow Fire Lord Ozai. I think as the generations have gone on, it's become we've forgotten our true purpose here, But it sounded like, which is another point to how destructive the war was, because the Fire Lord even messed with the sacredness of the Avatar, right?
Right.
Which is crazy.
I also liked that scene where Uncle Iroh says, "Are you so busy fighting you have failed to see your own boat has set sail?"
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't have time for your proverbs, Uncle.
Well, maybe it could be a good proverb. that was really cute. Which gives us another clue into how Iroh, trains and works with Zuko.
Yeah.
The fact that Zuko immediately went to, that's probably just one of his proverbs, tells us what kind of teacher he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good trio of episodes for Zuko and Iroh development, which was nice.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get any of the previous ones.
Yeah. I'm excited that we are entering into the stage of the trio using more bending when fighting, specifically Katara.
I'm sorry, did you say trio?
Trio. I enjoy anytime we see Katara waterbend. I think it's just cool, to see the dynamic of them fighting with Sokka being a warrior, Aang, and then Katara.
Sokka's also very brave. He runs headfirst every time.
Yeah, that's true.
He just goes for it. Yeah.
Yes, he did, because he felt like Aang needed help.
Yeah.
He's very brave and courageous.
Which I know that Aang and Sokka have a fun, loving relationship, but you can probably sense that Sokka's older and sees him as a kid, you know.
Oh, and I'm sure he annoys him.
Yeah.
And especially with him hanging around with Katara all the time, he probably gets annoyed like a little brother would, or like a little brother would annoy an older brother.
Plus, they have, Sokka is the odd man out here because he cannot bend.
Yeah.
So Katara and Aang are going to connect over their bending, and Sokka's not part of that.
You definitely see that when he has to clean out Appa's toes.
Yes.
He's left out.
While they're doing bending practice.
Yeah.
But we see in these 3 episodes that he's becoming a better warrior as time goes on.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay, so, Mom, were you surprised about the waterbending, what it could do? It stopped the whole ship.
Yeah, I was, but remember I told you, once I got the introduction to the world, I thought to myself, of the 4, water feels like it would be the most powerful.
Well, you got a lot more Earthbending here in this 3 episodes,
That's
too,
true.
with the Earth Kingdom soldiers arresting Iroh.
Yeah, the Earth Kingdom is definitely no pushover by any means, but
yeah, they're kind of cruel, huh? They were going to smash his hands.
Yeah, it was cool.
But then again, he held that city siege for so long. He has a history with these people.
Yeah.
And so there's we don't know the details of that. I do remember hearing that word, the name of the city. I don't know. Yeah, I remember hearing that before, so I'm sure that we're going to visit it at some point.
Yeah.
But
luckily, there's no longer any war at Ba Sing Se.
oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, there's no war at Ba Sing Se.
no, I know what you're saying.
Okay,
Okay, y'all are awful.
Wait, can we talk about the Elsa moment that Katara had when she froze the she froze the water on the ground and she ran by it and they slipped on it. I was like, okay, Elsa, I see it.
All right, Mike Zuko, I want to hear your thoughts about Zuko pulling out Katara's necklace.
My immediate reaction to that is always that's such a weird dance he does. I mean, I know it's not really.
Oh, where he kind of taunts with the necklace.
Yeah, he dances around her. I'm like, what are you doing, Zuko?
Creepy.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Sniffer hair. Oh, I'm sorry. I took it there.
Oh
I
my
apologize.
gosh.
I'm sorry.
I'll never shit like that didn't happen. Mom, I'm just gonna go ahead and quote you and say, when you watched that, you said, "Oh no, Zuko!" Like you were shocked he was being mean.
Yes, he was being very cruel.
Yeah,
He's
set up to be mean.
He's the He's literally the villain. I guess you could say Zhao is the villain, but he is.
I'm much more. I think we're supposed to consider Zhao because we saw him behave dishonorably, and we did not see Zuko do that.
You don't think taunting a dead mother's necklace?
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, I'm saying that was a duel of honor, right? This whole the Agni Kai is an honorable duel with rules, and we saw one person break it and the other one didn't. That's telling us. We've seen the division there, one of these characters. Zuko, for all his, I have to regain my honor, Zuko has honor. He just isn't expressing it the right way.
Okay. Mike. Whatever.
I mean, let's get real. You immediately said there's no way Nickelodeon is setting up an abused child as a villain.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I do believe that.
But, he a villain.
At the moment.
100%
he's
a villain.
misled.
Mike
oh
ain't.
my god.
Mike ain't.
Uncle Iroh's trying to bring him back to the light.
Okay, well, you're going to try a little harder because he just taunted Katara with her mother's necklace.
Yeah.
He's not a good guy.
Yeah. Okay, so any thoughts on those 3 episodes? Kind of big episodes.
Very good, very important.
Yes. Yeah. This is when we get the driving plot behind the rest of the story.
Yes.
Sozin's Comet coming here in 6 months.
Yep.
Driving force. We've got to get ready. We've got to do it.
Yep. Dun dun dun. All right. Favorites?
I gotta look at the names again.
So for these 3, part 1, part 2, the Water Being Scroll, which one's your favorite?
Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say part 2 as well.
Yep.
Dan?
I'm gonna go with part 2 as well. I just like Roku too much. I love that character.
Mom.
Okay, oddball, come on, spit it out.
I know, I'm struggling here. Part of me is leaning into part 1 as much as I didn't like the creepy spirit.
Okay.
But I like the Iroh, that we learn more about him and that we see him act. We get action out of him. Mm-hmm. And I really love that moment where Zuko chose to go after him instead of the Avatar. I thought that was an important moment.
Mm-hmm.
But so much happened in 2 that was just so... The visuals in 2 were just amazing. The whole temple.
Can we talk about that shot where they're in front of the temple wall and it's looking down and their shadows are elongated?
Yeah, I mean,
beautiful.
So I'm gonna have to go 2 because I just think it was masterfully done. It was just a really well done episode, and it was very tight narratively, and we had a lot of. So I gotta go 2, but I really had a hard time picking because there was a lot in 1 that I liked.
All right, favorite overall, Abby.
Actually, part 2.
Whoa!
It beat last, which, okay, honestly speaking, I was like, I'm gonna hold on to this one as my favorite for a long time because of how crazy Boomy is and how much I enjoyed it. But no, just the plot, I could not look away from this one.
That's true. It was very captivating.
I could not look away. I ended up doing, the same thing for 10 minutes at one point that I shouldn't have been doing at the gym. And so, it was very, very captivating. So yeah, it definitely trumps last episodes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say part 2 is my new favorite too. For the same reasons. Also, I'm with Dan. Avatar Roku is awesome. So Dan?
Yeah, I'm as well with part 2.
Are we all?
Yes, this is unanimous.
Nice.
We all have the same favorite right now.
We are Mike part 2.
We are one. Part 2. I have a prediction. I have a bunch of predictions about what your favorite would be at the end of season 1, but yeah, it makes sense to me that we would all be sticking with part 2 right now.
It's just so important for the plot.
Yeah.
And it's clear they put a lot of effort into
It's
this
so
episode.
visually beautiful.
Yeah.
The
shots were very pretty.
Yeah, it had a lot of, and it had some complexity. It had complexity with the sages and the one that was true and the idea that he upheld the.
And this is the first time.
It was just good.
This is the first time when Shayu comes up to them and Sokka says, "We don't trust firebenders."
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns to, "Hey, yeah, we do."
Yeah.
Which is, no spoilers, but this show does not shy away from the complexity of not all people in one group are bad.
And
That's
not
good.
all people of one group are good either. We saw that with the Earth Kingdom, with the man betraying Hyrule after he saved him.
Yeah.
So I think that, again, complexity. It's Haru, sorry.
Yeah,
complexity in a children's show that is unexpected but really, really good.
Yeah.
So that brings up something I want to talk about. I watched the first 3 episodes of the first season with the kids today at work.
Wow.
And so it's really cool to see the difference because we all watch those episodes together. So it's interesting to see the difference. First of all, throughout the entire session that we sat down and watched it, they were up trying to imitate the movements that they were doing. So they were up trying to waterbend with Katara, and they were like trying to do the martial art flip things that Zuko and all of them do. So that was really cool. And they kept going, "Oh my God, can you believe he said that?" And would re-quote, like say exactly what they just said over and over and over again, and then come up and ask me questions. So it was really, really cool. I also got a coworker hooked, so that's really fun. But it was really, really cool to see their faces. Like every time bending came on, they had to get on their feet and try it.
I mean, same.
Yeah, it's
just
really
so
cool.
And the reason it's so captivating is because they took so much time with it. Yeah. Right? Like they really did do a good job.
And they definitely loved the animals. And also, I should note that they had this level of energy while watching Avatar the Last Airbender at 6:30 in the morning. So, that kind of shows. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So, if we're done, any more comments?
No, this was a good bunch of episodes.
All right. So the next 3 episodes are 10 through 12, which is Jet, The Great Divide, and The Storm. So just go ahead and warn The Great Divide is like the worst episode of the series.
Oh, good.
The other 2 are great.
I'm tempted to skip it just so we can get to the Blue Spirit.
I know.
I'm so
the Blue
disappointed
Spirit's
that we mixed it up.
Next, but we gotta stay strong.
Yep.
Okay, so Abby's off to bed, and we're off to watch him. As
I'm watching.
All right, Dan, it's your turn.
Farewell. And remember to keep all things in balance.